Hang on 1 second. Hello. So anyway, this is one of my favorite mugs of the trip. It's kind of like the, also like the mug Kevin got me, which I just unpacked. It's ready to go into the dishwasher, but it has the ocean here and then the beach. It's very nice. And it looks like a wave coming in. And I usually draw a heart in the sand. I put Rainey's name in it, but my mom or my dad. And then it has my favorite place. It's the beach. Okay. So today, kids went off for school. It's 6:30 and I was just laying down again, and at about 8 o'clock I got a call, and the caller ID on the house phone just was saying our bank name, and I'm like, that's weird because our bank just doesn't call us, which reminds me of my other bank. I've got to do something else on there. Our bank just doesn't call us. What's going on with that? What's up with that? And I ran for the phone. I missed it. And I was like, oh, crap. So I logged in to my online account. And there on my main checking debit account, do I see charges for Uber, which we don't even get over here, Domino's, Applebee's, 2 Amazon charges, one for $400, one for a little over $100, Spotify, which I don't have. What else do they have? Some other thing we don't even know what the heck it was, Glount or something. Domino's Pizza, which is definitely not us. Let's see. Hulu, 2 big transactions on Hulu. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars of transactions that were not ours just in the last, from the 15th to the 16th. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And you might remember, it wasn't long ago when Jimmy accidentally left the debit card at that gas station, and then I was in Pennsylvania, and the next thing we knew, we had all these charges. And so we just went through this new debit card, transferring all of the automatic payments over, and now we'll be doing it again. So they're filing all that stuff. But I said, do you know, like, how it was compromised or who? She said, I have no idea. And like these Ubers and stuff, they can get the information. We can request the information, but she just like saying it's just scam after scam. So that was fun. Wake up call today, not. And, but whatever, yada, yada, right? So I have another account with a debit card, but I don't usually use that one. So I have to transfer money over there, use that debit card because I have to go to the doctor today, and then they're going to rush us a new debit card. So she said hopefully by Thursday, not Friday, and then we've got to go in and update everything. So that's always great fun. But anyway, that was my wake-up call today. How was your wake-up call today? What did you do today? Hi, Margot. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Linda. Yeah, that was really fun. What was I going to say? But I wanted to do a live anyway this morning before I go to the doctor. My appointment at the doctor is, Jimmy, do you know where it is? I think it's at the Rock, right? I'm talking to you. You just asked me my doctor, and I think it's at the Rock. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm live, so let's not say a lot of information. Okay, so anyway, but I think it's at the Rock. You have 0 credit cards. No, these are not credit cards, Tracy. This is a debit card. Debit means you have to have the funds in your account. I don't like credit cards either. Yeah, I don't like credit cards. I don't do those interest fee. I don't like that. I don't like that. Hi, Queenie. How are you? So yeah, it's a debit card. And they can be compromised. Yeah. That's exactly what it is, Tracy. It's not a credit card, it's a debit card, and it's compromised. And used to be, I don't know, before the gas station thing that what Jimmy had, knock on wood, I didn't have like really compromised issues. Maybe once when that whole TJ Maxx and everything, when they all got compromised and they did something out of an abundance of caution. But, this was something, you're like, what the heck? Domino's, Uber, Hulu, Amazon, Apple. Oh, that was Applebee's. Crazy. Spotify, some other glount. I don't know what that is. Some rental application. Craziness. See. Crazy. But let's take a look at what's going on in the world today. Well, this is something kind of amusing, I guess. Police in Colorado arrested a driver last week after he tried to switch places with his dog to avoid a drunk driving charge. Springfield police officer saw the driver put the dog into the driver's seat and slide over into the passenger seat. After stopping the car for driving 52 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, the driver got out of the vehicle on the passenger side and told the officer he was not driving. The man showed clear signs of intoxication, and when asked about his alcohol consumption, the man ran from the officer. The officer caught up with him about 20 yards away. Police later learned that he was traveling from Las Animas to Pueblo and got lost in Springfield. He also had 2 active warrants for his arrest in Pueblo. The Baca County deputies arrived on scene to assist, taking the suspect to the hospital and then booking him into the Baca County jail on warrants. He was charged with driving under the influence, driving while ability impaired, driving under suspension, speeding 20 to 24 miles over the limit, and resisting arrest. Police say they let the dog go with just a warning into the custody of an acquaintance of the driver. Wow. He implicated his dog. You're taking the rap for this, Fido. Yeah, nice guy. Nice guy. Now the dog was almost going to have a record. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me go look at something else here. crazy. Come on. I'm trying to see what's going on in the world and let's see what's going on in the world. What's going on here? A new variant. So they have a new COVID-19 subvariant XBB, part of a new class of Omicron. For the past several months, Omicron subvariants BA.4 and BA.5 have dominated COVID cases, but now there's a new class of subvariants, and it's called XBB or Griffin. And there could be a chance it could overtake everything else out there. XBB is getting a lot of buzz. It spreads fast, seems to be able to evade immunity that people built up from having previous infections or getting the vaccine. XBB is a new class, spreading fast, says Thomas Russo, MD, Professor and Chief of Infectious Diseases at the University of Buffalo in New York. The variant was first detected. Okay. Don't panic, though. When it comes to evasion of vaccine protection, it's important to recognize the vaccine is not all or none. So far, XBB seems to be similar to what they've been with COVID: fever, chills, cough, fatigue, muscles, body aches, headache, new loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion, runny nose, nausea or vomiting. Let's see. Peak. Okay, so not a lot about that. No. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, trying to see what's going on here. Lori Vallow to be prosecuted for attempted murder of niece's husband. Oh, okay, here's something. Let's put that there. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office in Arizona has announced that in addition to pursuing charges against Lori Vallow over the murder of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, they also plan to prosecute her in the attempted murder of Brandon Boudreaux. On Friday, Lori Vallow was found guilty on all 6 charges at her trial for the murder of her children, Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow, and for her role in the conspiracy to murder her current husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell. The preponderance of evidence at Vallow's trial in Boise, Idaho, suggests that Charles Vallow's death was the first step in a wider plot by Lori Vallow and her current husband, Chad Daybell, to rid their life of obstacles, as they termed their spouses and her children. Mr. Boudreaux was married to Lori Vallow's niece, Melanie Pozlowski. Melanie was very close to Lori and believed in many of the same bizarre doomsday prophecies espoused by her and Mr. Daybell. This ultimately ended her marriage to Mr. Boudreaux, with whom she shared custody of their 5 children. From evidence heard at Lori Vallow's trial, it's apparent that he too was considered an obstacle. In their beliefs, a dark spirit had possessed him. Google location data showed Alex Cox, traveling to and from Gilbert, Arizona, from Idaho in early October 2019. And on October 2nd, an attempt was made on the life of Mr. Boudreau when he was shot at after returning home from the gym. He had earlier taken his older children to school and dropped the youngest off at Melanie's home. The shots were fired from the back window of a gray Jeep Wrangler that had had its back spare tire removed. Video footage from a storage facility in Idaho showed Mr. Cox and Lori Vallow placing the spare tire in a storage facility the day before he drove south to Maricopa County and then taking it back out a few days later. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office says it reviewed submitted charges for matters involving Lori Vallow that occurred in Chandler, Arizona on July 11, 2019. And that was the date of Charles Vallow's death. And also in Gilbert, Arizona on the 2nd of October 2019. And that was the attempt on Mr. Boudreau's life. So Maricopa County Attorney's Office has made the state of Idaho aware of their intent to prosecute the defendant in Arizona for charges stemming from these submittals. After the defendant is sentenced and transferred to the Idaho Department of Corrections, the extradition process will begin. The extradition can take from several weeks to several months because this is a pending matter. Okay, and here is a photo of Brandon and Melanie. Mr. Boudreau gave heartbreaking testimony at Lori Vallow's trial about the end of his marriage to Melanie and broke down as he recalled having to be the person who identified J.J. Vallow's remains. There's questions that linger over Melanie's involvement in the attempt on her former husband's life. She was present in court in Boise for Lori Vallow's trial as her husband testified, but did not take the stand herself, much to the surprise of those closely watching the case. Other women, Zulema Pastenis and Melanie Gibb, who were close to Lori and involved in the strange rituals she conducted as part of their shared beliefs about the second coming, did testify. So she's got more charges coming. Here's something else we've covered a long time ago. I know it was back in 2019. You might remember that YouTube mom that did all those pranks with her kids, but most of the kids were adopted. Well, her biological sons now have been charged with child crimes in Maricopa County. And I believe she died, right? That YouTube mom. Let me see. You'll recognize her picture, and I believe she did die in prison or something. She had some kind of weird health thing. Hold on. Let me see here. Yeah, we covered this back in 2019. Anyway, let me see if I can get a picture of her. Yeah, you probably remember this mother, and she did all those pranks with her kids who are mostly adopted. Michelle Hobson. And that was in Arizona. Well, now there's some new stuff going on there. The biological sons of the YouTube mom have been charged with child S crimes in Maricopa County. The arrest and felony charges came after ABC 15 started asking questions about why victims' disclosures were never relayed by the Maricopa Police Department in Pinal County. The case horrified the Valley and the country. Police say Michelle Hobson forced her 7 fostered, then adopted children to perform in lucrative online videos while she starved, beat, and pepper sprayed them behind locked doors. In a 2021 investigation, ABC 15 exposed how DCS and police repeatedly failed to listen to the cries for help and rescue from the children in the home, despite more than a dozen prior reports of abuse and neglect. When Michelle Hobson was arrested for multiple counts of child abuse, her adult biological sons, Logan and Ryan Hackney, were also booked into jail for failing to report the abuse. But the brothers, who played a major role in producing the YouTube videos, quickly had their Pinal County charges dropped. 4 years later, both Logan and Ryan are facing multiple counts of SA of a minor for crimes committed in Mesa. Logan Hackney is charged with 4 counts of child S crimes, 3 counts of the charges are level 2 felonies. Ryan's charged with 2 level 2 felonies. It's possible that the arrest could have happened sooner, but Maricopa police admitted in an internal investigation they did not send information about a crime to the Mesa Police Department in a timely manner. The department did eventually forward the case file and information surrounding the Mesa allegations, but only after ABC News 15 discovered the allegations and started inquiring with the Mesa Police Department about why the brothers were not facing criminal charges. In the internal investigation, Maricopa Police Department wrote that our media inquiry raised concerns that the information may not have been relayed. In fact, then Maricopa Police Chief James Hughes responded back to the ABC 15's emailed questions on May 16, 2021, writing, "I would be asking many of the same questions you did. Mesa should have conducted a separate investigation using that field interview as a starting point." Very interesting. So it was a news organization that spurred that along. That's interesting, huh? Hang on a minute, because my thing is locked up here. There we go. The department internal investigation stated the case was finally made to Mesa on May 21st, 2021. The commander concluded the case submittal did not happen until after this issue was raised by a third party. He went on to write, the referral was not timely, but well within the 7-year statute of limitations for any child abuse charges and no statute of limitations for child molestations. It's important that law enforcement, when they receive information from a child about SA, follow up on it, said Robert Pastor, a Valley attorney and former Maricopa County Attorney's Office prosecutor who specializes in child abuse. The adults who were there to protect these children failed them in their responsibility. The Maricopa PD lieutenant made policy changes following the mistakes, including mandated routing whiteboard sessions where case management and assignments are discussed and documented, and a case closure form. When Maricopa PD finally passed on the abuse disclosures more than 2 years later, the Mesa sex crimes detectives discovered 2 more victims. All of the victims were hesitant to speak up, with one telling detectives, "Justice does not get served." One of the things that I found in reviewing some of the material in this case is that you've got multiple victims telling the same story, said Pastor, who read the Mesa police reports, What survivors of abuse and every prosecutor knows and every law enforcement should know is that one survivor's story may corroborate another survivor's story. When a Mesa forensic interviewer asked one victim what should happen to Logan, the person responded, "Logan needs to pay for what he has done and go to jail." In February of 2023, after Mesa PD did a months-long investigation, the Maricopa County's Attorney's Office got a grand jury to indict the brothers on their current charges. The warrants took weeks to execute, but Ryan was arrested in mid-March and Logan in late April. While the story of YouTube mom and the allegations of SA all originated in Pinal County, the Attorney's Office there does not have any active cases. Now here's where we have Michelle Hobson died of natural causes months after her arrest in November of 2019 before she even stood trial. So yeah, I think her arrest was in the spring of 2019 and she died in November behind bars. Meanwhile, Maricopa PD did extensive investigations into the alleged SA in their jurisdiction, which involved multiple potential victims. The department submitted cases to the Pinal County Attorney's Office 3 separate times, and most recently in September of 2022. In each case, the Pinal County Attorney's Office declined to prosecute, citing no reasonable likelihood of conviction. However, as the office said in a letter declining to file charges, cases can always be revisited if additional evidence is submitted. So, yeah, okay. Finger purse. Okay, so we have that. So that's in the news today. And where did our other stuff go? Hold on. Okay. Okay, so let's see what's going on in maybe some entertainment news. We looked at some new documentaries that are going to be starting. I believe one is starting today. Which one was starting today? Something on Netflix. I already forget which one it is. I know there's the one about that Hillsong Church that's starting on the 19th of May. But then there was that other documentary we looked at that's starting on the 16th on Netflix. And I don't even remember what it is, and that's kind of scary. Kate Winslet has teamed up with HBO for 2 more limited series. The first, called Trust, is an adaptation of Hernan Diaz's novel of the same name, set on Wall Street during the 1920s and 1930s. The second, The Regime, will focus on a single year inside an regime as it begins to crumble. Here's everything we know about the regime, previously called The Palace. Kate Winslet would star in and be the executive producer in The Regime, and it will be her 3rd HBO original series. The show will be directed and produced by Stephen Frears and showrun. Written by and executively produced by Will Tracy. So she's going to be in 2 more. And the first teaser trailer dropped in April, but the show will not premiere until 2024, so we'll forget about it by then. Okay. Because I can't even remember the one that's starting today on Netflix. What the heck? Don't even tell me. I have to think about that. Oh boy. That's scary to me. It's really scary. And I can't think of it. I'm really trying to think of it. Trying to go back into last night's thing and really think of it. I remember about Hillsong. And then there was another document. Let me just look at it. I have to look it up. It's driving me crazy. Netflix. May 16th. Let's just see. The Good Mother, Light the World, Dr. Chop, Of Suspicion, Airport, Austin. Oh, come on. What was it? We read about it yesterday. What was it? May 10th, May 11th. Let me see here. Oh, Anna Nicole Smith. You Don't Know Me. That's what it was. The Life and Death and Secrets of Model and Actress Vicki Lynn Hogan, Anna Nicole Smith. Okay, so that's coming today, and I believe it. Is that the one that it could be streamed tomorrow, or it's today? I don't know. So that was the other one that we saw. Okay, let's see what else is going on in the world here. Come on. Okay, so we talked about that 12-year-old that shot that Sonic worker. And what is this one? A Tennessee woman was arrested after a racially charged incident involving a knife at a local park in Memphis. According to police, 52-year-old Melissa Prewitt accosted local residents while in the park and wielded a knife while hurling racial slurs. I heard her screaming at me, and she was saying some other stuff. She kept saying stuff like, "You terrorist," and spewing racial slurs, said Stephanie Mosby, a local resident. I was kind of honestly in a state of shock, Mosby said. It was a large kitchen knife like you would see in a horror film, silver with a black edge, and it was also kind of crazy to me because it was other people, other white people that were just like going by her, but she wasn't doing anything. According to the report, another woman shortly came over to help, but Prewitt continued shouting racial slurs as they left. Prewitt was arrested and charged with aggravated assault. Threatening incidents like what happened to Mosby have gained national attention in recent years. Okay, well, all right. Crazy. All right, let's see what else is going on. Okay, so we have a little Alex Murdaugh news here. We have that very attractive mugshot of his without his hair. Notorious. They call him Notorious, huh? Okay. So Alex is still denying killing his wife and son in letters to friends. Okay, hang on a second because I've got to do something here. It's going too quickly. He's been writing to friends from prison, denying that he killed his wife and son despite the jury's double conviction. His friend Chuck Arnold, who has received one of the letters, told the Messenger that Murdaugh admits to financial wrongdoings but still claims he is innocent in the fatal shootings of his wife Maggie Murdaugh. And that reminds me, I've got to put my Maggie Murdaugh video up. the one from her house, and the 22-year-old son and his 22-year-old son Paul in 2021. The former lawyer from South Carolina's Low Country is serving 2 consecutive life sentences after the jury found him guilty of murdering his wife and son in March. His lawyers have filed an appeal against this conviction. He's been charged with 99 counts of financial crimes in addition to allegedly defrauding his law firm and its clients of $8.8 million. He is a broken man, Mr. Arnold told the Messenger. He's trying to make amends for the financial crimes he admits that he committed, but he insists he did not kill Maggie and Paul. One unnamed partner at Murdaugh's former law firm was less sympathetic, telling the publication that Murdaugh caused us all untold distress. He stole money from our clients and he stole money from the firm. This is a family law firm, and he took money from people who loved him and who he professed to love. It's a betrayal that I don't think I can ever get over. Let's see. Just trying to see if there's anything else here. Alongside the murders and the financial fraud charges regarding his own business, Murdaugh has been accused by the South Carolina Attorney General's office of bilking the state out of about $490,000. Okay. See what else we have. Philadelphia prison break. We talked about Murdaugh. Yeah. Okay. I don't see anything else there. Let's see if there's anything else going on. Oh, this is okay. Trying to see if there's anything here that we should discuss or anything of interest. I'm looking through this stuff. And I'm not seeing anything here. See. No. Okay. All right, let me go over to something else I wanted to do before we... I'm sorry I can't see the chat because I'm just looking... haven't done this in a while, so let's see what kind of things are there now. Come on. Computer keeps freezing up. Hold on a second, I'm trying to get this down. Oh boy. Hold on. Stuff is locked up on me. Stuff is locked up on me. What's that noise? Jimmy's watching something that's like crazy. This is locked up on me. This is locked up on me. Shut this down. Jimmy, that's really loud. Okay, hold on. My computer's locking up. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh boy. There we go, we got that down now, but my whole Chrome now crashed. Hold on, and now I'm frozen. Okay. I'm frozen. Don't worry about it, you're not seeing things. I'm really frozen. Trying to restart my Chrome. I can't see you guys or anything else. Why this is starting over here, I do not know. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, get rid of this. And then I've got my thing over here. Get rid of this. All right, now let me go. Okay, now I've got it. So here we go. My boyfriend's wife died this week. Did we talk about this? My boyfriend's wife died this week. For weeks, she lived in severe dementia, unable to walk, feed herself, or communicate. I respect that she was still my boyfriend's great love and the mother of his adult children. Still, we have been dating for a year and are solidly in love. Some people disapprove, but we think we were respectful of his wife and family. We agreed that I should stay away from him now and from her funeral to keep the focus on his wife. We've had several discussions about what would happen after she died. I suggested he may want to play the field, but he was adamant about being with me. He's grieving now, but what should I do down the road? Let him bounce back into my life, or insist that he take time on his own? Someone said, I am not a grief counselor, but in my experience, there is little point in trying to plan grief. It often takes unexpected paths, hitting us harder or later, or just plain differently than we would have predicted. Here you may think your boyfriend had a head start grieving his wife, given her diminished state, but he may be clobbered by grief. He may also feel guilty about having moved on before she died. Not that he should. Try to take the future one day at a time. Your relationship with your boyfriend grew out of a complicated circumstance. Now he will be mourning his wife and his marriage and his feelings for you. And your complex relationship may be all over the place, so take care of yourself. No matter what your boyfriend thought he would want before his wife died, he may feel differently now that she has. I hope both of you are open to counseling and support groups for those who have lost ones and those affected by dementia. I suspect your situation is not uncommon in some of those groups, and I wish you the best as you navigate your relationship among fresh loss. And the next one is, my oldest sister is having a big birthday this year. I've been planning a surprise all-sisters trip to celebrate for months. I mentioned it to my mother. Oh, wait, we did do this one. Okay, because this was the mother that wanted to go on that trip. Let's go to the next one. We did the husband is obese and I don't want to buy him fattening snacks. I think we did that too. Yeah, that's one we did. Let me see here. I don't think we did this one. 5 years ago, my 17-year-old daughter couldn't secure a loan to study art and live on campus at our in-state public university. She needed me to co-sign her loans, which I did reluctantly. I told her they were her responsibility, though. She graduated with a degree in fine art and $100,000 in debt. She now works at a fast casual restaurant for $18 an hour, and during this time I divorced my husband of 25 years and received a small cash settlement. I want to buy a home, but my credit score is so badly affected by my daughter's debt that I can't get a mortgage. A broker suggested that my daughter submit an application to release me from her loans, but she flatly refused. She thinks it may prevent her from getting a car loan. Do you agree she is showing poor character? I say I sympathize with you and anyone trying to finance higher education, but I won't bash your daughter. You were an adult and she was a child when you co-signed large loans she was unlikely to be able to repay with income from a fine arts degree. You may have thought you were being supportive, but you and her father missed a big opportunity to help her make more sensible plans for her education. What's more, the release you now want her to sign is worth little as a practical matter. What prudent lender is going to release you, the party with money, and look solely to a low-wage worker for repayment of $100,000? You're entitled to your feelings about your daughter's automotive dreams, but co-sign those loans. If I were you, I would hire a good financial advisor. I don't know why you don't include this debt in your divorce settlement with your ex-husband. It was incurred during your marriage, but you need a comprehensive financial plan now, and stop dragging your daughter. My boyfriend and I are in our mid-20s. We've been dating for 5 years and lived together. He comes from a large family with more than 25 first cousins. They're great, but they established a no+1 policy for weddings unless invitees are married or engaged. I missed one wedding already and another is looming. I feel slighted. I know I have no right to attend, but this policy seems hurtful to those who have opted out of marriage. My boyfriend insists it's not his place to intervene. He goes without me and says an invitation you have to beg for is not worth having. Should I bite my tongue? The cruelty of guest lists is that some people have to be left off. Weddings are expensive and venues have limited space, and have you really opted out of marriage in your mid-20s, or have you simply not crossed that bridge yet? I'm sorry you feel slighted. Bite your tongue for now, though, unless it's to dress down your boyfriend for being a bit blasé about going to parties without you. For some time, I've treated a dear friend to a theater subscription for $400 a season. I've started paying because she was under financial stress caring for an invalid parent, and her husband was out of work, but her dad passed away and her husband found a job. She should be able to pay for her own tickets if she made them a priority. Should I broach the subject? I don't want her to feel bad, and I enjoy sharing the experience with her. I understand wanting to be even Steven with your friend. It's natural. I have a few pesky questions for you, though. Could your friend be in the hole still financially from paying for her father's medical care or from her husband's unemployment? And how meaningful is this $400 to you? There's nothing wrong, of course, with asking your friend if she's ready to pony up for her subscription, but the worst outcome here, in my view, is that if the $400 is relatively minor to you, but not to your friend, that you lose a valued theater buddy on principle. Think it over before you ask. My husband and I own a second home at the beach. We rebuilt ours, but most of the houses in the neighborhood are modest. We were happy when our neighbor hired painters last year. The paint was peeling badly and the shingles were droopy. The odd thing, they painted the whole house except for the side that faces us. When my husband asked our neighbor when she planned to finish the job, she said she ran out of money. Am I wrong to be annoyed? It can't cost that much to paint one side of a house. Here's the thing about finite resources such as money. When they're gone, they're gone. If your neighbor paid the painters an hourly rate, it's possible she spent her budget. And if she's out of cash, it doesn't matter how little it costs to paint one side of the house. She doesn't have it. So if that unpainted side bothers you enough, offer to help finish the job. Otherwise, learn to live with it, I'm afraid. Yeah. My boyfriend and I plan to live together this summer in the town where he goes to college. I lined up a job there months ago. He was going to take classes, but I discovered he's also applied for an internship at NASA in Washington. He made the first cut. I'm happy for him, but also upset. If he's not going to be at school, there's no reason for me to be there, so I quickly created a backup plan to do research at my school and work on a farm. I can also apply for a grant to cover my living expenses, but only if I commit now. My boyfriend still doesn't know whether he got the NASA job. I was looking forward to spending the summer with him. Now I'm not sure. Thoughts? I want to be gentle here. There may be an early relationship for both of you. Still, whether your boyfriend did so consciously or cluelessly, he treated you as an option, not a priority. Don't risk your summer waiting around on him. Activate the backup plan now. No one should pass up an exciting opportunity. Personally, I would love to try on a spacesuit, but if your boyfriend wants your relationship to succeed, he needs to put all his cards on the table before he agrees to plans with you, so you aren't left in the lurch again. Thinking for two is not automatic. If you're still interested in him, talk it out. Explain how his delay in telling you about the NASA gig upended your plans and made you feel bad. Ask him to be more forthcoming with you and return the favor. That's how we pursue personal goals without blindsiding our partners. For my birthday, my kids and my husband, my mother-in-law ask me what she should buy. I make suggestions and she buys the gifts, sends them to our house. She asks me because my husband tells her we don't need anything, but I know that giving us gifts is important to her. She also sends me wrapping paper and asks me to wrap up and hide the gifts in advance, and then she tells me to confirm the packages have arrived. I may seem ungrateful, but how can I minimize my involvement in this? I work full-time and have a gaggle of kids under 7. Here's what fascinates me. 2 generations of your husband's family, mother and son, have conned you into doing their work for them. This is not going to stop until you make it stop. Buying gifts for small children is a snap, and presumably your mother-in-law knows her son. If she truly needs gift ideas, suggest that she chat with the recipients about their interests. You can also point her to retailers that gift wrap. As for your husband, it should take about 3 minutes for you to explain the emotional weight of gift giving for his mother. If he still doesn't get it, tell him to fake it, because she's his mother and you are handing over the job as her personal shopper to him. That leaves thank you notes, for which I recommend refrigerator-worthy drawings. Okay, we moved closer to family in Los Angeles now that we have a child. We rent. We can't afford to buy here. I doubt we ever will. Over the years, I've watched as friends were given large sums of money by their families to buy homes. A wealthy family friend asked me recently if we bought a house yet. Then he asked when we were having a second kid. We can't afford either one. I went home and cried. I don't usually feel ashamed of my life, but as friends do better, often thanks to parental gifts, I almost don't want to see them anymore. What should I do? Exactly what you're doing. Feel your feelings, even the dark, jealous ones, and try to express them. This often defangs my distress. It may also help you to see, while you're not Richie Rich, you are probably doing just fine, and your friends with wealthy parents aren't taking anything away from you. It may even make it easier to be around them. Now, some people object philosophically to transfers of generational wealth, but your complaint seems different, that you're not riding the gravy train. There isn't much we can do about that, though if I were you, I would talk through this issue with your partner until you decide whether to accept your lives as renters in Los Angeles or find a more affordable location that may eventually make homeownership viable for you. My sister has fallen out with her daughter. The timing couldn't be worse. My niece is getting married soon, and my sister asked us, her siblings, and our children not to attend the wedding. Should we really not go? I feel caught in the middle. Of course you feel caught in the middle. That is precisely where your sister has put you. Her request seems childish and vindictive. Steer clear of their feud, which doesn't seem to concern you, and go to your niece's wedding. "3 years ago, when I was 15 years old, I saw my dad going into a motel with a woman I didn't know. I happened to be getting a frozen yogurt with friends next door, and I was totally freaked out, but I said nothing. I just pretended it never happened. A few months later, my mom asked me directly if I thought my dad was having an affair. I said I didn't, which was obviously a lie. My parents separated, then divorced about a year later. Pretty much every day since then, I feel guilty about my behavior. Do you think if I'd confronted my dad or told my mom the truth at the time, my parents might still be married today? Let me be crystal clear. The only person who did nothing wrong here is you. Your father was reckless to subject you to what seemed to be his adultery, even by accident. And while I sympathize with your mother, she was wrong to involve a child in her marital difficulties. It was natural for you to shut down about what you had seen and later to try to protect your father and keep your family intact. Sadly, your unwarranted guilt makes perfect sense to me, too. Young people often feel responsible for creating crises to which they are witnesses at most. I can't say with certainty that your parents would be divorced no matter how you responded to what you saw, but I suspect they would be. That leaves my overriding concern. Unless you address your feelings of guilt about this episode, they may bleed out into other areas of life and diminish them. I worry that this may be happening already, and I'm sorry that you have to grapple with your parents' poor judgment, but you do. Talk to a counselor to help put this episode into perspective and acknowledge your blamelessness. My sister's partner of 6 years, who's 46, doesn't like spending time with our family. He frequently fails to show up for family dinners even after accepting invitations. He did this at Easter lunch. More often, he says he might come, leaving us all guessing till the last moment, which is stressful and annoying. His behavior upsets my sister, but she puts up with it. Should we stop inviting him? Without question, your sister's partner is behaving impolitely, but as a no-show, and by failing to respond definitively to invitations. For me, though, these are small potatoes in the larger scheme. It is more important for your sister to feel supported by her family than for you to satisfy your reasonable pique. So let her drive this bus. Your sister is the best judge, for instance, on whether her partner is extremely introverted or being a jerk. And while your annoyance is legitimate, excluding him without consulting your sister may strike her as harsh or judgmental of her relationship. Instead, ask her gently what she would prefer, that you keep inviting her partner or that you stop, and follow her lead. There are worse things than removing a place setting at the last minute, and hurting your sister is one of them. Okay. I received a save the date announcement for a wedding. I've decided not to attend for scheduling reasons. I am not particularly close with the bridal couple. In fact, I was surprised to be invited. Is it better to let them know right away that I can't attend, or should I wait until I receive the formal invitation? Given the difficulty and occasional heartbreak of creating guest lists for many bridal couples, the kindest thing would be to let them know as soon as possible that you're unable to attend. This way, they can adjust their plans, possibly invite someone else in your place, send a warm note with your regrets. Now, in my experience, when letter writers express surprise at receiving wedding invitations, they usually couple it with a question about their obligation to send a gift. You didn't, but just in case, you're not required to give a gift, though depending on your relationship with the bridal couple, you may want to. I'm a Swifty. I have an extra, nearly impossible to get ticket to one of Taylor's upcoming concerts. I could invite my fiance's sister, who has been extremely nice to me, or I could invite a former best friend whom I haven't been close to in recent years, or I could sell the ticket for a big profit. What would you do? I'm going to assume that you are devoted to Taylor Swift as I am to Joni Mitchell. Now, Joni superfans may not have a cute nickname like yours, but we wear the mantle proudly just the same. Based on my experience, your best companion at the concert will share your love of the woman and her music. You will have plenty of opportunities to repay the kindness of your future sister-in-law and to mend fences with your former BFF, and your ticket scalping is illegal in many places, so invite the person who is most likely to share your unbridled joy in an evening devoted to Taylor. I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years. We've been living together for 2 of them. Last week he said we should get married and that he wants a prenuptial agreement. I've always paid my way in our relationship, so I was surprised by this. He has more money than I do, but it's not exorbitant. Succession-type wealth. I agreed to his request because I was taught to be financially independent, but now I resent him for it. I'm a nervous wreck about what's to come rather than excited to get married. Can I push back on this? Were there any hearts and flowers in your boyfriend's marriage proposal, or was it all prenup? I get it if you buried the romantic bits because you're distraught by the financial proposition, but if there was no sweetness in it, red flag. Otherwise, let's dig into the prenup agreement, which are less scary than many people think. About 40% of marriages end in divorce. That's scary, so whether your boyfriend managed to save $50,000 or inherit $50 is still chump change for the Nepo babies on succession. I understand his impulse. Asking to protect his premarital assets and divide those you create together, which is largely in keeping with divorce law, doesn't make him a doomsayer about your relationship any more than buying fire insurance makes him an arsonist. Stuff happens about 40% of the time. Now let me add that I am not generally a fan of prenups for people without big assets or liabilities or children from previous relationships. Yes, I am looking at you, medical school debt. Life is unpredictable. One of you may hit a career jackpot, or parenthood may depress a spouse's earnings, but these things may not happen for years, if at all. Complex prenups that divide assets before they exist or cap support payments before there's a track record of earnings are silly and often unfair to the poorer spouse, so ask your boyfriend what he's worried about. And then hire a lawyer and hash it out. Don't be bullied into a prenup, though you can't marry the guy if you can't agree on what's fair. Okay. I bumped into a neighbor in the lobby of our building I hadn't seen for a while, but it was obvious she had undergone extensive cosmetic surgery. Not to be judgmental, but I can't imagine she thinks no one notices. I felt uncomfortable having a conversation without first addressing the elephant on her face, and it seemed disingenuous to say, "You look wonderful. What have you done?" How would you handle this? Cards on the table. I'm appalled by your question, though I'm sure you are sincere. By your own account, the woman is an acquaintance who you bump into occasionally, not a close friend. Why on earth do you feel entitled to comment on her appearance, much less claim that it's a prerequisite to other conversation? Unless neighbors ask you specifically about their changed appearance, say nothing. As for conversation starters, say, "I haven't seen you in ages. How are you?" Our acquaintances know if they've had cosmetic surgery. They don't need us to tell them. Okay. After years as a homemaker, I finally found a job I was excited about and announced it proudly to family and friends, but the job turned out to be a major disappointment, and I quit 6 weeks later. I haven't told anyone because I'm embarrassed that it fizzled so quickly. Now people are asking me about my exciting new job that I left weeks ago. It's getting uncomfortable. What should I say? Go with the truth. It didn't work out, and stop beating yourself up. You are hardly the first person to be disappointed by the realities of a shiny new job. Now, I don't know the nature of your disappointment, but no job is perfect, and 6 weeks is an awfully short period. So keep in mind for the next time that patience and negotiation can sometimes work better for us than heading out the door at the first sign of trouble. Okay, so now we're all caught up on that. That's good. And let's see where you guys are and if you have anything you're talking about. And I can't even see the chat. Okay. So let's see who's here. Hi, Leslie Romani. Hi, Easily Distracted. Hi, Janae. Debbie D. Justina. Bucky Ann, how are you doing? So those are the, that's what I have for you today. So we went through, let me just check if anything else cropped up while we're in news. Nope, not there. Let me check the other news. Nope. No, oh, hold on a minute. Is no, we got that thoroughness. Let's see what happened here. The body of a Maryland teen was pulled from Calico Lake after he drowned while swimming last week. The Hammondsport Fire Department and Steuben County Sheriff's Office said. The Sheriff's Office said at 1:42 p.m. on May 12th, it responded to a report of a 19-year-old Ahmed Ayaz who drowned in Calico Lake after jumping from his family's pontoon boat to swim. However, he couldn't swim back to the boat. It went underwater, not wearing any flotation device. Oh, that must have been horrible for the family. Multiple departments then responded, and after a 10-hour search, rescue teams located Ayaz's body with sonar. It must have been so cold to even try to swim in the lake. That's crazy. Crews were able to discover his body underwater with a drone the next afternoon. The Sheriff's Office said Ayaz was with his family visiting Calico Lake on vacation. Wow. I don't know where that is even, but it's cold. The water is cold. If that, I don't know what Calico. Let me try to find out what that lake is. If it's spring fed, where is it? Oh, it's upstate. That's even colder. It's one of the Finger Lakes. Wow. Wow. Maximum depth is 183 feet. Calico Lake is considered very unique compared to other Finger Lakes because of its shape. It's nicknamed the Crooked Lake. It's shaped in a Y with 2 north points and only 1 south point. While the lake splits in 2 different directions, it's quite slight to see, which makes it wonderful. It's quite the sight to see, which makes it wonderful for photography any time of the year. Wow. Okay, that's really sad. Okay, so I guess there's a Calico Lake State Park. Okay. Is this new? Let me see. Okay. Okay, so that is looks like then we are pretty much done. Let me see, it's 11:26, so I'm going to go. I will reopen the Zoom for those that want to go in there, and that is my news of the day. So, okay. Oh, and there is, Two Scooter's not up yet. I had to get, oh, Bucky Ann. Yeah, I think it was Shelley Joe emailed me about that Yankees book that she bought from you. Do you have your information on to bill her and send that out to her? She was wondering about that. I told her you hadn't been feeling well and I would get a hold of you. Okay, and then Ruff, got to get your stuff billed for and shipped out, and Lisa L., I've got your stuff now. That it's just been a week of catch up, and I am still, now I've got this whole debit card. I've got to go for my physicals today, so after that I really hope that I can get stuff done. And Scooter, you do have your, oh, thanks Lisa Hobbs, thank you for being a deputy roundup for 2 months, and I know you've been a member for way more, and I know your membership thing got all messed up. You don't have her info. Let me send it to you right now. I thought I did send it to you, but I'm going to send it to you right now. But anyway, I think okay, I'm just going to set Shelley Joe. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to send you some, just send this along to you, Bucky, and okay, and then her information will be there, and there'll be some interesting information about her PayPal. Okay, the other thing is, yeah, Scooter, I have sent you your invoice thingy. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I had to do here. Okay, I had to respond to something. I didn't check any email when I was away at all. I mean at all. And I mean at all. Really sad that I didn't do that. Okay. But anyway, let me just see something here. Okay. So that's it. Now, yeah, Scooter, and then there was, oh, there's still Captain Lee fan. There's still, your stuff that I have, and there's a request in PayPal, and then was it Janae? Let me just look real fast. If it was Janae or not, I don't know. Let me just check real quick while I'm here. Okay. Yeah, Janae, you have one in there. And then Elle, I know you told me about that. 2 Scooter you do, and Captain Lee fan. You still have stuff in there. And what else? Yeah. Okay, and then I think, and then the stuff and Sharon, I've got to get your stuff all figured out. I am going to get to that after I get this doctor's appointment done. But anyway, I'm not worried about that. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Let me go back to the live stream. Hi, Jen Grill. Thank you, Carolyn, for these news. Nice to have been able to pop in after so long of being gone. Hope you're all... Yeah, thanks, Queenie. We were on a celebration vacation, and boy, it's fun, but boy, is there a lot of catch up when you get home, you know? It's crazy, and I just feel like I didn't even realize that I didn't check my email one time. And I was gone 10 days. I was gone more than 10 days because there was travel days. We're on all liquid diet for 5 days. Oh, well. And you're also anemic now. I know how that goes. That's not fun. Thanks, Lisa Hobbs. Maybe I'll do depending on, I don't know what I see when I'm out. I still don't even know where my appointment is, if it's on the Rock or if it's further than that. So I have to find out about that, where I'm going. If I was going to the further one, then I definitely would say I'll come on and do something. But I don't think I'm going to the further place. Anyway. Oh, and then for those of you that missed it, this is funny, right? This huge box of candy that my son thought was hysterical because he said it's like the huge Publishers Clearinghouse check. So it's one of the things he got me for Mother's Day. And he just got such a kick out of this. You just can't believe the kick he got out of this box of candy. But yeah, it's quite fun. I'll definitely be keeping the box. And you wonder if the candy is regular sized or if it's super sized, right? Wouldn't it be funny if it was like to scale and each piece was like this big, right? Anyway, it's funny, isn't it? It is a funny box of candy that I keep over here now. Yeah, it's funny. I think it's funny. And then, yeah, like I said, where did I do want to go to the Vera Bradley outlet. And then Jay and him got me this little doll keychain, which they thought was really cute at some store in New Paltz. Gia brought me back this chocolate, which looks minuscule in size, from Switzerland. She just got back from Switzerland on Saturday. So she got me this. She's like, I hope you like it. I said, well, who doesn't like chocolate? Okay, and Swiss chocolate. Who doesn't like Swiss chocolate? And then she got me that cute little, they went to the antique store. You know what is so funny? There's a lot of Scotties in antique stores. We have a little cast iron one. We got in an antique store, and then Ruff got me a glass one. Kevin got me 2 really cute Scotty coasters, and then they got me this the sunflower mug, which reminds me of Ray, and they got that. That was at Isabel's Treasures. I'll give her a quick plug in New Paltz. So, yeah. Anyway, cupcake size candies, wouldn't that be fun? That would be fun, but I don't think that's what's in there. But anyway, okay. So I'm going to open up the Zoom. I'll do that now. And I think I have enough chocolate. I know. Isn't that crazy? I don't even want to open it. That's how I am. Usually I probably wouldn't if it was for me. But Jimmy will be like into that. He's a lot like my brother would be. Okay. All right. I'm going to put the number into Zoom for Zoom now. And then regarding the walking this afternoon, depending, my appointment is, it's 2:30 or 3:30. So depending when I get back, if my appointment's in the closer place, I will go to, because I did my walk at 6 o'clock last night, even with a sore toe, and I still have a sore toe, but I would even do it. If I have it closer, so it'll be a later walk. But if not, you guys can always walk in Zoom, because there's enough of you. But I'll let you know where it is. And then if I'm going to be walking, say at 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and since Risa, just let me know. I thought I'd sent you a invitation to Slack, and that would give you the number to call into the Zooms. But if I haven't done that, let me know, because I'm still discombobulated from the celebration. All right. I will talk to you guys later. Love you. God bless. Prayers for all. And we'll see you all later on today. All right. Bye.